Greetings and salutations. Quick shout out to the two Uber comrades on Patreon supporting this channel, my content, my partner. Thank you, Rosa, and Independent Left News. Definitely check out Independent Left News. They are a great resource. So I saw that YouTube has banned quote unquote misinformation about any vaccines on their platform. Not super surprising, frankly, that they're doing that. I think it's problematic on a number of levels. You have this massive, big tech corporation that is not beholden to the public interest at all. Others have talked about how these big tech platforms, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, what are the other ones? I don't know, whatever the other, big, massive social media platforms, that they should be nationalized, treated as, a public utility, something like that. I think that would be, hugely beneficial, because we shouldn't have these big tech companies, because they're technically private companies now, they're able to, censor people's free speech rights. And I think, sunshine is the best disinfectant. Let, all of this crazy misinformation get out there. The best way to combat that is to actually, criticize it from, pointing out how ridiculous and completely detached from reality some of this misinformation is, not by trying to silence it or suppress it, which is what YouTube is doing with this new rule that they're not going to allow any type of quote unquote misinformation about vaccines on their platform. That will be banned from now on. But again, I mean, it lends credence to, the quote unquote anti-vaxxer folks who have, or making these claims, whether it's, whatever claims they're making about certain vaccines causing certain ailments or illnesses or whatever. By censoring that information from the platform, I feel like it gives those people who have that mindset, that belief already, I feel like it'll make them feel like, oh, okay, so they actually don't want the truth to get out there. Okay, so there must be actually something to it. And I feel like those people might even double down on their beliefs about, this vaccine misinformation. So I think, again, the better strategy is to let that crap get out there and then criticize it for the bullshit and misinformation that it is, not to suppress it, not to hide it, not to try to censor those people with those views, because it's not, I don't think it's going to cause them to have any type of, critical self-reflection on this matter. And this is something that Mao talked about in his Little Red Book. One of the passages in there, he talks about how it's important to let these kind of, obnoxious reactionary views get out there, and then critique them for, the fucked up shit that they are, basically. That's to paraphrase Mao there. I don't think he said fucked up shit, but you get the idea, you get the picture. So hugely problematic in my opinion. And I watched a video Kyle Kalinske did on this topic, and one of the points that he made, this probably would have been applied to people during the build up to the Iraq War, people calling bullshit, saying no, Saddam doesn't have weapons of mass destruction. This is all bullshit. This is all warmongering. You're just trying to get the United States into another foreign war, another occupation, etc. People who were coming at it from the anti-war perspective during the buildup to the Iraq War probably would have potentially been banned by these big tech companies, because again, Google, Facebook, YouTube, etc., which Google owns YouTube, I believe, right? They're, in lockstep with the U.S. State Department, the military-industrial complex, often, providing them with these technologies, resources, information platforms, etc. So they don't have the best interest or, track record with regards to this stuff. So I think it's, very problematic when you have these huge tech companies getting to decide what is quote unquote misinformation or not, whether it's around anti-vax stuff or anything else, frankly. So, I'm for free speech as long as it's not, hate speech. If you're not spreading, white supremacist, Nazi stuff, that obviously has no, place in the public discord, in my opinion. I mean, short of doing that, I think people should be able to say their piece, and that definitely includes, people sharing their beliefs about vaccines as completely disconnected from reality and the, evidence as it may be. I think people should have that right, have that ability. And if they're spouting off, complete and utter nonsense and BS, then it would be the job of, people to call them out, to critique them, to point out why, no, this is actually doesn't make any sense. This is what reality says. This is what our experience shows. This is what the evidence shows overwhelmingly, etc. I think that is a much more effective way. And again, I think by banning this quote unquote misinformation about vaccines, the people that have those misinformed views are just going to, double down into their, unsubstantiated beliefs even more. It's like, oh, they really don't want this information from their perspective to get out there because there is something to it. So they don't want anybody to hear about it. Like this is problematic. There must be something to it. Like that doesn't really make sense to me if the goal is to actually try to educate people on this issue and prove that it is that it is in fact misinformation and not the gospel. So I think that is a much more effective way, frankly. So it's just very interesting. But the Biden administration, frankly, could have been behind this. They were wanting to censor this type of stuff on Facebook. Jen Psaki at a press conference, I believe, said that not too long ago in the past. So pretty interesting. Just wanted to give my 2 cents on this. Let me know, what do you think? Is this a good move by YouTube banning this misinformation on vaccines on the website, or is this problematic for the reasons I laid out, or maybe there's some ones I'm not thinking of? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Peace, much love. Like the video if you liked the damn video. Subscribe for more content. All part of the people. Peace, much love.